Coming up in sport, the Post, second England Black Caps one-day press conference from Napier, thanks to the New Zealand Herald.
I think par was probably 290, to be honest. I think we did okay to get 270, but where we were at one point as well, we probably should have got more than that. So I guess there's a few areas where we were short. I thought England, their new ball bowling, their end of the innings bowling, and also their batting were outstanding today.
How difficult was it early because the runs just wouldn't come?
I think we had a lot of fielders as well. Look, I think Kane especially showed some really good intent. We just weren't able to pierce the field, and I thought they fielded really well too. Managed to put us under some pressure, and it wasn't until those through the middle that we were able to gain any sort of momentum. But look, 270 it's still a very defendable total, but you need things to go your way on such a good wicket, and we weren't able to start the way that we wanted.
You got what you wanted out of the back end of the innings in terms of your partnership with Ross. Lost a few wickets fairly late, but was that more like what you wanted to consistently do?
Yeah, look, we probably had to put the hammer down a little bit more than what we ideally would have wanted, just purely because we were a bit behind the game. And then once we were able to get ourselves back to parity, we again let it slip, and we didn't finish off the innings the way that we should have. I'm not sure the stats. I think we lost 6 for not too many towards the end there. So look, I thought where we were at, 270 was okay. But if we had done it really well, we could have finished with 290, 300.
Happy with Ross's batting. He said out there just a moment ago that the way he's been batting, he'd happily taken 100 at the start of the day.
Yeah, look, I'm really pleased for him that he managed to get a score, and it's disappointing that we weren't able to get a win for him, but to tick off another milestone and get him back into some form as well. Really pleased for him. So I thought he also played really smart right through the innings. He was able to up the ante when he needed to, and managed to, take a back seat when there was some partnerships creating as well. So, look, I know he's disappointed that he wasn't able to kick on in those last couple of overs as well. But it's good to see him return to form. To be fair, with 270 on the board in the start that they got, probably would have kept another one in anyway, even if we're only allowed 4 outside. Even if we're allowed just the 4 outside. So it was, we're always going to have to try and create some sort of opportunity through bringing the field up. So for us, it wasn't such a big deal today. If anything, we probably could have brought another one in to try and chip out a couple of wickets early on in the innings. But yeah, I guess when you've got people going and set and swinging for the hills, that extra man can be quite crucial. We would have bowled first as well. I guess so. There's obviously a tendency to want to chase on these grounds, but we still had opportunities to get 300 today, and I think if we had got 300, that would have been enough. And if it wasn't enough, then we would have had to put in a pretty poor bowling performance. So, look, it's Auckland. I would imagine both teams would probably want to chase there as well. But yeah, if we had got 300, we're in the game.
Can you just give another impression as an opponent? Is your first look at Joe Root, who's obviously been very impressive, quite eye-catching. What do you make of him from what you've seen of him batting, the way he goes about things?
He's busy, almost Australian-like the way his presence at the crease. He's very busy, calls very loud, and obviously puts a lot of pressure on the fielders as well. And I think he's obviously played really well so far in the series, and with the quality of player behind him as well in terms of Morgan and Butler, I think his role in that lineup is obviously to try and create some momentum for those guys to come in after. So he's played well so far, and we're going to make sure that we come up with some strategies to counter him at Auckland.
Just on that, Auckland should be a pretty big occasion to great first up games.
Yeah, exactly. It's Auckland should be amazing in a few days' time. So it's set up beautifully, and obviously the way the series has gone, win one, lose one, win one, lose one trend. Be quite nice to lift the trophy 2-1 at Auckland.
Spinners seem to go quite well in the middle for you. I mean, would you consider playing, obviously Kane worked today, but would you consider playing another one even at Eden Park on those long square boundaries and short straight?
Yeah, look, we had to go to Kane and Nath today. We had to try and change, the momentum of the innings, and we had to try and take some pace off the ball and go for a different strategy. If we could take a few overs out of the game, try and hurry them quickly, maybe buy 1 or 2 wickets, then you could get your seamers back on. So that was a strategy today. It was more of a defensive play to try and create something rather than, a fixed play leading into the game. But we don't actually have a second spinner in our squad outside of Kane. So, and I think he's an excellent bowler in this form of the game as well. So I wouldn't imagine that balance would change.
Just over the last few innings, mate, I'm wondering if you feel as though you're seeing it a bit like a pumpkin at the moment. It's going to be pretty good, mate.
Yeah, look, it's nice to get runs. It's nice to be making contributions, but ultimately your team loses, so that's it's disappointing. So if I had been able to carry on for another couple of overs, then maybe we could have got that 300, 310. So you always want more. It's nice to be hitting the ball okay, but you always want more. So look forward to Auckland and hope to make a significant contribution there.
Obviously the pressure was on us to deliver when you're 1-0 down in a 3-match series, and people stood up. I thought the way Stephen Finn and James Anderson really set that tone. I think the first 12 overs was probably the best I can remember, was bowling in 12 overs, and we put them right on the back foot.
I alluded to sort of old and new experience and someone coming through for a team developing. That's a good sign.
Yeah, it is a good sign, and you always want these new guys pushing the senior guys, for places. And the way Joe Root, has handled himself in his international career so far, has been very good. And I think I remember saying it's a lot of playing international cricket is about temperament and how you can handle yourself, and he's certainly shown at the moment the right attitude and being able to handle pressure.
Give you a little problem when Kenny comes back.
It's a good problem, isn't it? It's a good problem to have, without a shadow of a doubt. And he can only keep doing what he's doing, which is scoring crucial runs.
Has he surprised even you with how well he's done?
Yes, he has. Especially that knock as well today. He's played shots which I didn't know he could play, but actually he bats in the middle order for Yorkshire in 2020 as well. And I think you get to learn those. And he came in today when I think we needed 7 runs and over pretty much, and he played very well.
Brendan McCullum just described his approach as almost Australian, his busy approach. Take that as a compliment.
Yeah, you've got to take it as a compliment, and I think he's right. He's very busy. He's very hard to bowl at because he's always trying to get off strike, and we set a good platform to do that on this wicket. We knew 270 is about par, probably a little bit less, and if we kept wickets in hand and we didn't let the run rate get too high, we always fancied ourselves because it was a cracking batting wicket.
You always feel in control, even when McCullum was obviously blitzing it a little bit. Did you feel that you're sitting in control of the chase, I guess?
Yeah, because we had such a good start, whatever the runs they got, we felt pretty good, and he played very well again. I actually thought we bowled a lot better to him today than we had done at Hamilton. I know he scored a lot more runs and a lot quicker, but he was hitting in areas he wasn't quite so comfortable in doing. So fair play to him. The way he played, it was a great little knock, and he got him up to a defendable total. But if we kept wickets in hand and we played sensibly, I always felt we were very comfortable in chasing that.
So looking to Auckland, is there anything more you can do to stop McCullum?
Yeah, we've got to get him out early. Players when he's in form, he's a very dangerous player. There's no doubt about that. He's done it to us and to other teams before. Hits the ball in not strange places, but it hits it long. So no ground's really big enough for him. So he's a very dangerous player, and with these new regulations, he seems to come in about the perfect time, 36, 37 overs, and we'd like to get him a little bit earlier and hopefully get him before he gets going.